So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This is Carson. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. From the 44, Wilson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to complete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Check 31, check 31. He's coming.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And this is caught by C.J. Procise. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. He's got Lockett. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process.
Every play is supposed to get a player's best effort. But on 4th down, that really increases the stakes, doesn't it? What about that catch?
Heck of an effort picking up the first.
And now that team has to be motivated going forward. They just saw a great effort there. They want to make sure it pays off.
About 3 yards there to the 27.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 27, Wilson. That's caught by Hollister. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, it's Carson looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Check 9, check 9. Shit! Four down. Slam. Short. Hey, hero.
Throwing on second down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On third down, Wilson. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll run with Lynch. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. Second and goal from the 1. They'll run for it with Lynch. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Prescott. Space to maneuver at the 40. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott flush to his right. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Cooper's got it. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy 1st down. So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. Now back to the ground with Elliott. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
There goes a deep ball. And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he is going to be stopped on the return at his own 3-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half.
Check 43. He's coming. Go.
Wilson from his end zone on 3rd and long. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Wilson in the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on 4th.
Check 24. Mike's 50.
They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. Open man is Gordon, complete. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
Check left. Check 50. Check right.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 1st down Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. From midfield now, here's Wilson, dancing to his left, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack on first down, Wilson, he's going to fire one deep left sideline, and this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. To the right side, incomplete to Metcalf. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Final play of the half, it's Wilson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway.
Keep playing hard.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Again, it's Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll run on first down. It's Elliott, and he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Bradley McDougald that time able to knock it away. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Gonna take a shot for Gallup. He rifles one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They run again with Carson. And he'll take this one down to the 36. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They'll run it. Here's Lynch. Lynch pushing, but he is not going to get there. They stop him short. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards, but instead, offense out there. They're going for it. Throwing is Wilson. And now look at him go. The 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play too.
Well, CD, with the end of the season comes the announcement of the All-Pro team, and everybody was like, wait a second, Christian McCaffrey's listed twice. Is that a mistake? No, he got it both at running back and flex. Pretty impressive.
Very impressive, because I think a lot of people thought that if you have a running back and a flex position, that maybe Christian McCaffrey would go into the flex because he catches the ball so well. And you would go ahead and elevate the big guy out of Tennessee, Derrick Henry, to the All-Pro running back. Henry ends up being a second-team guy, but McCaffrey deserves being first-team running back as well as first-team flex. He had a tremendous, spectacular year.
And as you might imagine, Baltimore leads the way. 5 players named to the All-Pro selection. Of course, leading the way for them, the quarterback Lamar Jackson.
Yes, and rightly so. And I fully expect him to be named the MVP when we get to NFL honors right before the Super Bowl. He's going to sweep all of those, and he deserves it. Carried that team throughout the season and got better in their bigger games.
Now Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
First down, the run with Lynch. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Seattle, Washington. 7 7 is our score. Pretty even matchup so far as we start quarter number 4. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
14, got it. Hey, Hero.
Wilson turns and gives to Process. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Malcolm Smith there for the stop.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Focus, defense, focus. Watch the end. Gun. Bang out. Bam. Hey. Big time.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Watch tight. Tight is right.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Go. Shoot. Watch the shoot.
4th down. Here's Wilson. That's complete. It's Gordon. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with Marshawn Lynch. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about it if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. That would give running right is Lynch. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. The 10th carry of the game for Marshawn Lynch. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Marshawn Lynch. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Myers connects on the PAT. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Back to throw. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. He'll look to throw. Completes it to Jason Witten. 25 yards that time. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Back to throw. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 5-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. So the victory here for Seattle, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.
owners get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up this.
I get the money, but I never switch. They saying you switch, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I took no risk. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savings, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause I see the risk, on the risk, watch out for this. I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. I see the risk, I see the risk, I see the risk, I see the risk, I see the risk,
I was legit. Ever since I blew, they all on my. Hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got choked, long. Say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my 50. Ex slick, then hit with the. Back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these 4 things, pull out the VIP. Suck to a nut, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip. Crush.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle this. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer.